Welcome back to another video. In this video we are going over the patch notes for the upcoming patch 14.22, and again we're gonna make it featuring Mortdog because he makes amazing rundowns and I'm gonna just react to whatever he says. I haven't watched the video yet, so I'll be completely surprised. I hope it's the same for you, and yeah, let's dive right into it and don't lose any time.
Hey everybody, Riot Mort here with patch 14.22 rundown. This is the final patch of Magic and Mayhem. Last patch was the Worlds patch, which means this is the for fun patch. This is kind of a tradition of ours. We add some fun stuff, we have a good time, and yeah, we kind of enjoy, we say goodbye to the set before we move on to Into the Arcane, which was just announced yesterday.
Maybe we get our scepter back. This corrupted vampire scepter. That would be great.
So yeah, lots of fun changes here. We'll go over them, and yeah, let's just dive right in. So here we go. All right, first off, 4-star champions has been a pretty cool addition to the system. People can use worth the wait or other various methods, and they hit their 4-star champion. They're just a little below the line where we want them, and they're going to be sticking around for the next set, so we want them to feel a little bit stronger. Oh. So they will get an additional 500 HP. So anytime you hit a 4-star champion, they'll be stronger than they were before. Oh, this helps both backline and frontline be a little stronger. Cool. The other thing to say...
Anyways, I didn't feel like 4-star champs are this powerful, like especially when I saw videos about Jinx 4-star, which is a 3-cost unit. They couldn't even beat like a 3-star 4-cost, for example. So they were quite weak. Yeah. I like that update there.
Magic and Mayhem is charms. We made one change across the board, and that is all charms that cost at least 1 gold or health now cost 1 gold or health less. That's it. So,
ooh, okay.
So charms are going to be less expensive this patch. It means you'll have more gold to play with. So yeah, enjoy that. All the charms are cheaper. And this, like I said, probably the funniest one is Sinister Deal, which now just costs 0 health. So, yeah. All right. Chrono. Chrono has been this trait that has not really worked this set. I think it's one of the misses of this set. A big part of that is the fact that you have to, start at 14 seconds and pray you cast enough to even trigger it before half your team is dead. Yep. So we're going to have it trigger even sooner. This will trigger at 10 seconds.
Oh, that's
so
a huge
we'll buff Chrono a little bit for the last patch. Honeymancy. This is a pretty silly change. The bees have been embiggened. They're bigger. Why? Because we wanted to, and it thought it'd be funny. So if you see big bees, enjoy that. They're big.
Nice.
That's it. Incanter. This is definitely a trait that basically hasn't really worked out. Giving it a small buff here, which is going to allow it to hit its max stack quicker. Every time you cast a spell, you'll get 5 stacks instead of 3.
I think actually Karma was the worst 4-cost units. Like I heard people saying it's Fiora, but Karma was, in my opinion, unplayable. Like I never had a good game with Karma. And they said here Chrono and Incantor worst traits. Yep, Karma definitely felt that.
The max stacks are still pretty high. It's still a 4-piece that gives 110 AP, but it'll stack up even quicker. And then we added 2 new prismatic chase traits for you to try. Shapeshifter 10 and Sugarcraft 8. Both of these require 3 emblems, so good luck. They're going to be hard to hit. Shapeshifter, the HP doubles from 33% to 66% and 5% health regen. If you ever see a 10 Shapeshifter team, you're going to see very large health bars that will be difficult to get through. Then 8 Sugarcraft. This one's pretty wild. It'll give you 50 base AD and AP, 500 team health, and 10 sugar per item. We saw this happen on stream earlier today, actually, and the person was getting 300 stacks per turn. Pretty wild. So definitely cool if you want to get 8 Sugarcraft going. Pretty neat. All right, on the channel.
I really like the Sugarcraft update, since I enjoyed it, and it was my most favorite trait of this set. Definitely a nice addition. Definitely gonna try it out.
Champion side.
And I definitely had games where I could have had 3 Sugarcraft crests, so definitely something I'm gonna try out.
Ashe is a champion. Hasn't really been like an S tier comp really ever. So Ashe is going to be able to cast more often. If you can figure out a cool multi-striker comp to play her in at the end, She'll cast her spell more often, and
But we have seen Ashe in a lot of games in Worlds. Like, she was almost in every game. We could find her at least once.
shoot more arrows. Warwick and Jace both get +1 AD for reasons not related to Arcane. Oh, wait. And then Jace also is going to get a bigger, harder hitting spell. So if you want to play Jace carry, you can play Jace carry. So, yeah.
Crazy addition,
cool.
Especially with the 10 shapeshifters.
Akali. Akali never really worked out. So Akali's going to get +10 AD. She's going to hit a lot harder. Does this solve all of Akali's problems? No. But, you know. There you go. Kassadin also going to get a buff. And yes, this is 3 multi-striker buffs. So if you like multi-striker, maybe you'll have some fun. Kassadin's going to be able to cast his spell a little quicker. Tristana, same thing. Tristana carry was never really a thing. Tristana, kind of one of the most dead units of the set. Really just an item holder for Callista. So going to be able to cast her spell more often. If you consider like Shojin IE +1, maybe she can actually do some damage. And then Zillion carry, trying to help Zillion carry here. Mana's going to go down. Spell damage is going to go up a pretty significant amount. Same with the secondary damage.
That's 90 damage plus on level 3. Crazy. Base damage. Hey. And secondary damage.
The stun will go down 0.25 seconds. Oh no. But if you want to try to make Zillion carry work, cool. Jinx also gets +1 AD for reasons. Yeah.
So interesting, because you remember that they buffed her, like they gave her 3 AD, so she had 55, and then instantly reverted that and give her 52 again, and now they give her 1. What? Oh, and 2 shapeshifter buns, Nico and Swain, crazy.
Nico is going to get 10 more armor and MR. She's never really been a successful tank, so yeah. And then Swain also is another one that just really never functioned much as a tank. Going to be able to cast his spell more often and get a little bit more HP on subsequent casts.
Interesting, because they buffed him last patch with mana, so definitely huge Swain now.
So, yeah.
And I never really thought he's bad, especially if you build him with the right items. And 3-star Swain is powerful AF.
Fiora and Gwen, warriors have been kind of lacking a little bit behind, so they're going to get 5 more AD and 5 more armor and MR.
Nice.
Karma, same thing. Basically some 4-cost buffs here. Karma's going to get some extra spell damage.
She needs it.
Nasus is going to be able to get some extra heal from secondary casts. And Varus is going to get 0.05% attack speed. So 4-cost buffs all around to get them a little bit more in the meta. We're seeing right now in like the competitive meta, it's very much a 3-cost reroll meta. So 4.
Oh yeah, everybody's going for 3-cost, especially in the Asian region. Crazy. You saw so many Swain 3, Nico 3, Mordekaiser 3 carries, Hui carries, Jinx carries, Wukong carries, obviously. I mean, it's one of the strongest comps, but Shapeshifter were so powerful. Everybody played Shapeshifter. Even if they only had 6 Shapeshifter without the emblem, everybody went it. Like 6 Shapeshifter, 3 dragons, you saw it all over the place. It was crazy maniac.
4-cost kind of struggling a bit, so hopefully in the final patch, this helps them out. And then Xerath. Xerath, kind of the king of the charms, is going to be powered up for his last patch here. Spell damage going up pretty significantly. This is a pretty big buff to Xerath.
Yes.
So if you want to play Xerath carry, you should. It'll be good. And then in addition, his charms will show up even more often when you're running him. The chance to see them goes up to 12%. The max goes up to 50%. So if you want to see those Xerath charms before the set ends, now is the time. So Xerath going to be really strong.
Crazy.
Okay, this is a big thing for next set. Items, artifacts. Artifacts are sticking around, for sure. We've been really happy with artifacts. Some of them haven't been as fun. Some of them are very fun. Some of them cause problems. So all of these changes are us getting ready for the next set of artifacts. And so any of the changes you see are us trying to make them spicy. We're taking some big swings here so that we can see how they do this patch and then adjust them for the release of Into the Arcane.
Interesting.
So some
interesting concept here to use this set to actually prepare the upcoming set. Very nice.
of these might be a little heavy. I'll go over the ones I'm a little nervous of, but yeah. Anima Visage. This one is getting its HP lowered, its MR lowered, but it's giving armor now. So it's just a generic tank item. and its HP regen is going up.
Oh.
So this is now less about being a magic resist item and more just being a tank item with high health regen. So,
But isn't that crazy? Like, is this a nerf or a buff? I mean, 50 HP gone, but 1 total percent HP regen, and then 20 armor out of nowhere. Holy, that's... I believe that's a huge buff.
so this should
Especially for champs like Wukong or like Mordekaiser or Vex. Crazy.
be pretty good. Deathfire Grasp. This one gets a pretty big rework. The AP goes down from 50 to 30. The mana goes up from 15 to 30. Damage amp is now on the tooltip, so it actually works right. It always worked this way. It always gave 30% damage amp. Now it just says it on the tooltip. And now what it does is at combat start, blast the target for 40% of their max health as magic damage. And then
If you watched one of my last streams, I think it was last stream, where I had Deathfire Grasp, and I was like, what is this item doing? Like, I read it, I don't know how many times, like 5 times or something, until I finally understood the texting, or like how they made the tooltip, and then I finally understood what's actually going on. So very interesting that they changed that.
and repeats this every 13 seconds.
And it's no longer unique. That means you can now spam Deathfire Grasp on your units or what?
So you put this on a backliner, they'll fire that big shot, giving you a little bit of an advantage. 13 seconds later, get a second. If you can keep them alive, 26 seconds, get another big shot. But generally a pretty good AP item that just gives you some extra oomph. Should be fine.
Yeah.
Eternal Winter. This artifact has not been very fun. It's one of those, like, it's really not fun to play against, and you're not having a ton of fun with it. It doesn't make your champion, like, cooler in any way. Mm-hmm. It just kind of exists and make everyone slow. Yeah, so this one's gone. We're cutting this. Forbidden Idol. This is one that unfortunately we found ourselves basically going, anytime we made a champion that had a shield that was based off their percent health, Forbidden Idol was broken on them. Yeah. And there are spoilers, there are champions in the next set that have a shield with percent health. And if you ever ran into, God forbid, an Idol plus Locket, good luck. You're not killing them. Yeah. So this allows us to keep Locket in the game, but we're removing Idol. Idol's going to be gone. So, yeah. Gambler's Blade has quickly become the least favorite of the gold-generating artifacts.
I think it was Moguls. Moguls was like... There was one game, I don't know if it was in EMEA region or if it was Asian region. Crazy game, and he just lost because he picked Moguls. I don't know where it was, or was it America? I don't know anymore, but crazy. He just lost the game because he picked, out of his Shimmer augment, he picked Moguls, and he straight lost.
Gonna get some more attack speed and more chance to generate gold. Should be fun. Hull Crusher. This is actually one I'm a little nervous about. I think this is going to make this item busted. So if any one of them so far expects to get a nerf, this is one of them. But now, in addition to the 600 HP it gives when they're isolated, it also gives 25 AD and AP. This means, for example, using live, current champions, imagine this on Fiora or Gwen. Exactly. Now they just get a ton of health, a ton of armor, a ton of MR, and some AD and AP. This will make them very, very good. So you should be able to play it now on more people than just tanks. Yeah. Bruisers should use this very well.
Combine it with a Bloodthirster or something. Holy. Or Hodge. Oh my god.
Horizon Focus. This got a bug fix where now if you have more than one of them, you get more damage. I'm a little nervous about this. The odds that you have multiple Horizon Focuses are pretty low. But man, when you do, they're going to start chunking people. So, yeah.
But you also need units that's done. Not all units done.
Watch out for that. Lichbane. Lichbane, pretty much still the same thing, but we got rid of the 15 mana and gave it 20% attack speed. This is to hopefully help you attack quicker, to cast quicker, to proc Lichbane quicker. Should just help the design of the item be a little bit better.
But isn't that like taken away from the item from LOL? Like somehow, like the mana? I think Lichbane was a pretty strong mana item with the damage buff proc. Now it feels more like a, what is it called? The giant spelled item. I've forgotten the name. Doesn't matter.
Light Shield Crest. This is an item that, like, feels a little bit more like a support item, but is going to get some love here. It's now going to be 70 armor and MR, so it's going to be very tanky. And the bubbles are going to get stronger, being 70% of your shields, your resists. So if you want to play this in a comp where you have very high armor and MR values, something like Bastion on live, 8 Bastion with this item should now be making some very large shields. That should be pretty cool. Mittens. I didn't change this green for some reason, but Mittens is just getting a damage reduction buff. Should be good on melee units. They'll be tankier. Cool.
Yep.
Excuse me. Prowler's Claw. Prowler's Claw, we're going to cut some of the AD off of it, so it won't hit quite as hard, but we're going to give you 200 HP so that while you're jumping around, critting people and doing your thing, you'll be a little tankier and not necessarily accidentally die to a bunch of tanky damage.
Yeah, that's
Prowler's
good.
Claw.
I never liked Prowlers. Somehow it's a very weird item. I didn't really get the idea why my carry would jump everywhere, and mostly they jumped into their death. So yeah, not really my favorite item. I like that they get 200 HP to be a little bit more tanky there. Very nice.
Should be pretty good. Seeker's Arm Guard. This item is close. It frankly just needs a buff. So we're going to give it 15 AD and AP, AP on, I think it's AP armor and MR on takedown, and 20 AP armor and MR on kill instead of 10 and 15. And for fun, every stack you get of Seeker's Arm Guard, you're going to get bigger because that's hilarious. So, yeah. Silvermere Dawn.
Now we need to combine Talisman and Seekers and everything, so you have like huge units.
This one's an interesting one you might not be expecting, but 165% AD is really, really powerful. That's like, a massive amount of AD. And unfortunately, there was one unit I can't talk about yet, but one unit next set that much AD with a really slow attack speed was actually just insane. So we're shifting the power a bit. It'll still be pretty insane. 120.
Oh, what unit is gonna be that? Cyan? Very slow, huge attack speed? Attack damage? Okay. My prediction is Cyan, but let's see.
20% attack damage, but we're giving it more armor and MR to be up for it, so it'll be tanky. So just a shift of its power to be a little more in the tank. I still expect this to be really good on people who are really, melee units in the front line. So, yeah. Sniper's Focus. We're going to give it +1 range. This should be pretty fun. So, yeah. Should make it good. Should open up some more opportunities of like melee Sniper's Focus champions as well.
Especially with gloves. When you have gloves, the blacksmith gloves, and then you have your Sniper Focus on a Mordekaiser or something. Man, that sucks.
Well, if you want to try that.
That's a little bit nicer now.
Spectral Cutlass. Spectral Cutlass is a dangerous item that you put on. Your unit jumps to the backline, instantly takes aggro, and dies. Yep. We don't want this item to be the assassin, uncounterable, kill your entire team thing. So we do want you to take aggro, but taking aggro kind of sucks. So we're going to give you 40 armor and MR on top of it so that you can at least survive. Again, put this on somebody that has like Spectral Cutlass plus Titans plus BT, and they can do some pretty good work in the backline. Trickster's Glass. This is another artifact that has been kind of underwhelming for a while. You get that clone, but that clone has that huge mana reduction. We're lowering that mana reduction a lot. Oh. So if you want to put this, imagine this on Tom Kench now, you might actually get 2 CCs out of it. So should be good. And then Unending Despair, bigger damage for bigger shields. Make big shields, do big damage. So
nice.
As you can see, kind of across the board here, artifacts just getting buffed. Artifacts should be more fun. And again, we're going to keep an eye on this, see if they're like OP, if any of these seem insane. We'll pull back. But a lot of this was in our testing for Into the Arcane. There were just certain combinations or certain artifacts weren't as fun. So trying to make sure that they're all pretty exciting.
I like these updates.
Yeah.
Mostly.
And you get to play with those a patch early. On the Augment side, Placebo. Do you guys remember when we buffed Placebo and doubled its power and I freaked out about how nervous I was? Turns out I was right. Doubling the power of Placebo, absolutely an insane move. Ruined the meta. If set 12 balance has been bad for one reason, it's definitely this. So we're finally fixing that mistake. Placebo going back to 1% attack speed, cutting its power in half. I apologize for the balance thrashing here, but it had to be done. So...
Crazy. Never
Placebo,
seen this
rest in peace.
Going hardcore.
Golden Quest. We're going to make sure that this is a little bit more achievable right now, so a little bit more gold here.
Yeah, let me know in the comments actually. What do you think about this augment of this set? Like these augments, I mean, we had a lot of fun augments, especially the hero augments are unique and everything. But what do you think of these augments? Let me know in the comments below. What was your favorite augment, for example, and what do you think now about the changes? So drop a comment.
And then Spider Queen. I went and looked into Spider Queen to buff it, and it turns out the last time it was buffed, the wrong number got changed. Ooh. So it had never actually been buffed for the last 2 patches. So I fixed that. So it's getting a very large buff here. But turns out it just hadn't been buffed properly. So, oops. So yeah, if you want to play Spider Queen on the last patch, enjoy.
I've seen somebody has it, Spider Queen with Elise, obviously, in shapeshifters, and they went crazy. So I don't really know where the problem is, but maybe not every game worked out as intended. And it was not an S comp anymore, and it was always an S comp. Spider Queen. Maybe now it will go back to S.
And then bug fixes. Trickster's Glass will now correctly work on 4-star units. Cool. Unleash the Beast no longer gives more attack speed than intended if you have both a regular and radiant. And then fixed a very rare bug where more loot could drop than intended for everyone in the lobby. No big deal. And there you go. That's it. We did it. Magic and Mayhem's done. The last patch comes out Wednesday. You'll enjoy the fun there. Like I said, Chonk's Treasure will be alive, so if you're somebody who really likes Chonk's Treasure, enjoy that for the final 2 weeks while you finish your pass. Get your stuff done. And yeah, that's kind of it. And then, let's see here. End of the Arcane coming soon. Releases 2 weeks after that. Should be news, coming up soon. Lots of stuff this week. Next weekend, I'll be on the Tactician's Crown co-stream with Frodan, so you can check that out. At the end, who knows? Maybe some information. Should be fun. So, good times. And then we did it. A 12th set, 12 done. So many more in the future. I'm excited. It's going to be good times. There you go. All right.
Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. As I said, let the comments down below. And yeah, what do you think about the patch? I'm very excited to play this, and definitely gonna have some streams, maybe today. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.